Hey, everybody. Today in the gospel, we hear Jesus talking about this interesting principle. He says that everyone who commits a sin is a slave of sin. A slave does not remain in a household forever, but a son always remains. Jesus is saying this it says to those Jews who believed in him. So they've never been enslaved to anyone, they say. What Jesus is saying is that when we commit sin, it means that there's part of us that is enslaved to that, enslaved to this sort of desire to do something or to grasp for something that is not of God and is not good for us. I can remember in seminary struggling a lot with my own personal sinfulness and bringing that to my confessor and my spiritual director. And I remember him once saying to me something that really made me mad. He said that there's something in this, Michael, that you like, that you enjoy. There's something here that you still are holding on to, that you want to go to. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Look at all these things that I'm trying to do to stop doing this, that I'm coming to confession, that I'm trying to bring to the light in spiritual direction. I'm trying to ask for help. I'm doing all these prayers. And he says, but still there's something in it that you see as good, even if it's a subconscious part. And I had to sit with that for a long time, and still it made me upset to think about, because I don't like to think that I like sin. And I don't think that any of us would say that we like sin. We could go on a lie detector and say, I don't want to sin, and that would be true. But the thing is that sometimes in our sinfulness, these things we turn to have become more habitual, and they look like the thing that I need to do so that I am not stuck in a scary place, or in a place where my fears come to me or my anger gets the best of me. And so, in a sense, I'm enslaved to that because it's the only way out that I have. What Jesus offers is a different way, a way of being a son or daughter of God. And in that place, we don't have control, but we have a good Father. We have a good Father who provides for our needs when we ask him. Someone told me that, when I feel the temptation to sin, then the solution there is not to try to find all the ways to block that out of my mind, or to do this or do that, or to find the perfect prayer, even the perfect prayer. I mean, some prayers are really good and they'll help. But to surrender that to God and to say, I don't want this and I don't have control over it, but you can relieve me from it. And so it's a different kind of slavery, I would say. It's a slavery to God. In the letter to the Philippians, St. Paul writes that Jesus, even though he was in the form of God, did not deem equality with God something to be grasped, but rather he emptied himself and took the form of a slave. Jesus became a slave like us, as in he became totally obedient to the will of the Father. That's what we need to be free from sin as well. We can't calculate, we can't figure everything out, we can't reason our way out of things. We have to simply be surrendered. That's what the whole Lenten season is about, is for us to be told more and more totally surrendered to God. Let's ask him today that we might have that grace, or that we might begin to say, Lord, I can't, but you can.